So it's day 40 of going through my old journal entries. And so the quote on this day was, "A person often meets his destiny on the road he took to avoid it." And the prompt was, "What are you avoiding right now? And is it keeping you from your destiny? Why are you avoiding it? And how can you face it head on?" So if you're following along, go ahead and pause the video and just take a few minutes to kind of think about what you think about this and what your response would be. And I'll be back here in a second with what I wrote. Okay, well, what are you avoiding right now, and is it keeping you from your destiny? Let's see what I said. Oh, good. Yeah, this is a good response for me. I said, "I think I'm constantly avoiding commitment. I think this may be holding me back from living and enjoying my life. Instead of choosing one occupation or person or hobby to commit to and settle into, I'm constantly searching for more." And I actually don't know that I still feel the same way, but I still think for me at the time, it was a good response. For new and different things, so I'm always searching for more, for new and different things, which always brings some sense of stress, but also excitement. But I don't know, sometimes I wish I would just pick something and stick to it, but I guess I'm afraid of going all in. Then feeling trapped. Oh, I guess I'm afraid of going all in, then feeling trapped if I didn't like it. This has happened a few times with some hobbies I've tried to start, and I'm somewhat feeling it with my school and job right now. Although not as intensely, since I can see a path of getting out of both. So yeah, like this spring was the first time that I was finally, like I sat down and I just wrote out, okay, well, how much do I have left done with school? What do I need to do? You know, because I don't know, the PhD is just, when you're an undergrad, you pretty much have everything lined out. You need to take this many hours, you need to take this many classes. And the PhD is somewhat like that, but then at the end, it gets, a little bit different. You have your coursework, but then you have your qualifying exams, and, you have to get your dissertation proposal and this and that. And that's not, I don't know if some PhD programs it's like that, but for mine, it's just not quite as like clear and laid out for me. Not as much as I would like. But I think that's maybe just part of getting a PhD. They're not going to hold your hand and tell you step by step. But yeah, I'm starting to see the finish line finally, and it's making me feel better about it. Okay, so I said all that, like I wish that I could just commit to something, because there's been some people that just chose a career. Like, I have friends in school that like wanted to be a dentist or a doctor, or, they had these certain careers in mind, and then they just went to school and became that. But for me, I've never had this like solid idea of what I wanted to do. And, you know, a part of me wishes I would have done that, but actually, at least here, I was thinking that like that may have been the answer for me not feeling as stressed and kind of everything up in the air. But I just don't think that's me. Like, I don't think, I feel like if I would, I do feel like if I would have committed to something, especially if I would have committed to a person, I would just feel trapped and just feel so much more anxiety of feeling trapped in whatever that life would be. Like, I'm glad at how things have turned out so far. So here I go on to say, I don't regret living the way I've lived. If I hadn't tried so many things and just settled into a career, I probably would always wonder what would have happened if I would have, gosh, my writing on this one wasn't very good. I've got a lot of random commas and like, let me just start again. I don't regret living the way I've lived. If I hadn't tried so many things and just settled into a career, I probably would have always wondered what would have happened if I would have gotten out of my comfort zone and tried everything that I did. But I do think that now might be the time to stop avoiding commitment and look toward what I really want for the second half of my life. So one thing that I think has changed that made me second guess that, thought of like, I should just commit to something is, and this is so, I mean, kind of random and maybe stupid, but I came across a TikTok video of this woman who was maybe in her like late 50s, early 60s, and she was talking about how she basically has ADHD and can never settle on what she wants. And so she has all these great ideas. She has all these great business ideas and things that she's interested in, but she doesn't stick to any of them. She's like, I made jewelry and, I enjoyed making jewelry, but I don't want to make jewelry for the rest of my life. I made candles. I enjoy making candles, but I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, I don't know that there is one thing that I would be happy doing for the rest of my life. So instead of thinking like I just need to commit to a career and go with it, I need to find careers that will allow me to be very varied and random in the type of stuff that I'm into. And so, I've learned a lot of skills by doing what I've done. I've worked a lot of different jobs. I've worked like, gosh, I was a server. I worked in retail. I worked at Walmart in retail. I did their inventory. I worked at a trucking company in their payroll department. I worked for my dad at his computer store doing like bookkeeping. Gosh, where else? Disney. I had several different roles at Disney. I've done research with the university. And I think something in the research realm is probably going to be the best thing. I volunteered with different groups, done all these different things. So, like, maybe just being, what do you call it? A consultant. And I know people like say, oh, well, I'm a consultant. And people say, like, what does that mean? But I mean, just kind of be involved in different projects with whatever skills I can bring. I know I'm very good at Word and Excel. I'm obviously good at speaking English, and I'm good at kind of like reviewing papers. So I know that there's a lot of researchers in other countries that are trying to publish in journals that are English based that I could, edit. And that might be great because I would be interested, I'm sure I would get to read all of this interesting research and, just be able to make sure that all the grammar and everything is correct. I mean, I think there's a lot of different jobs. I'm getting pretty good at GIS, so I could do mapping. I don't know. After seeing that lady and seeing how she had successfully been able to take like all of her passions and turn them into kind of like little gigs, for herself. I don't know. I also wouldn't mind just having a steady job because I used to work at a corporate setting at the trucking company, and my mom had worked there for like 40, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, something like that, a really long time. And I just always thought I don't want to have this life because my mom just seemed miserable. But now after having this, like, and everybody started kind of negatively talking about the corporate grind and the corporate jobs. And, I saw some people that enjoyed it. And when I worked there, some people did seem miserable. And I just kind of thought like, I would be the type that would be miserable, working here my whole life and not doing anything. But now that I've gotten out and done all of these things, the stability of a job like that is kind of appealing, actually. So like doing something like that part-time, I think would be great because I would have the job, I could go in part-time and then still have time to, hopefully get benefits and stuff. I don't know if part-time people get benefits, but just have that stability, but then also be able to do all of these other things if I wanted to. So I don't know. I still don't know. And I'm always the type to like just kind of one goal at a time. And then once it's finished, once it's done, then I start trying to think about what's next. And then I'll find something that's next. I'll focus on that and go. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, I definitely have a problem with commitment, but I don't know that that's actually a problem, because being committed to things gives me stress. So I don't know. I'm at a place where I feel pretty good now. So, and I think also, I know this is all over the place, I'm sorry, but that's how my brain is feeling today. I think, you know, there's the other part of the question, how is it keeping you from your destiny? I think part of the reason I don't really think that's a problem anymore is I've kind of lost that sense of like having a destiny. You know, I think I'm to the point of understanding now what people who say like, oh, it's the journey, not the destination. I don't know what the destination is. I don't know what my destiny is. Like, what if this is my destiny? Like, what if I'm meant to live this life? I don't know. I've come across a lot of random interesting things that I never could have imagined, you know, seeing or doing, just by living this way. And I feel like it's fine, maybe. But who knows? I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on day 40. Maybe not the best response, but that's what I put. And so I'll be back tomorrow with day 41.